Hello, I think we're live. Yep, it's looking good. Let's just check on YouTube, make sure everything's all right. Fishing Glasgow, hi mate. You're all right? I'm just making sure that we are actually live. We are. I have to do a few little pre-checks these days, like just to make sure everything's all right, because the software can be a bit temperamental sometimes. But yeah, Mark, that's right. Matt, you're forgiven. I actually work with a guy called Matt, and everyone in work always gets us mixed up. I get called Matt regularly, and he got called Mark for years. So we just basically ignore it and carry on. Let's have a look. Stream marker. Right, okay. Looks like there's a few things changed in this live streaming software. Like I've got things called stream markers now. And just, I'll get off my phone in a minute. Mr. Tyler, all right, mate? Yes, I'm now live. Cool. Right. Gary B, all right, mate? Can't wait for Saturday, first trip of the season. Yeah, well, obviously it's not the first trip for me, like, because I've been done the last month or so on a local water, but I will be travelling this coming season. Am I all right, by the way? Because it says no data. Are you hearing me all right? Because oh well, I don't know what's going on there. Evening, James. I'll tell you what I'll do. I will go and have a look myself and make sure everything's all right. Oh, there we go. It's just popped back. It said no data because I've got like a window open on the internet, and I've got like the streaming software open as well. And the internet's saying no data, and now it's just popped back and said stream's in excellent condition. So it's obviously still working. Hopefully you can't hear the telly in the background because I'm watching England Poland. Well, when I say I'm watching, I'm listening. I'll turn around when there's a goal. If there's a goal. Wouldn't be surprised if it went to Poland. Yeah, first trip at Saturday. I'm going to be travelling myself, Gary, on Saturday. Oh, England have got a penalty. Just in case you all didn't know. I'm going to swivel my chair around so I can go like that. Yeah, Saturday. I'll be travelling myself, Gary. First time out into Cheshire this year on Saturday. But to be honest, mate, I've absolutely no idea where I'm going to go at all. I literally have not decided. I've got this list of about 4 waters, and I'm thinking of just starting on the furthest one away and then working my way back home, depending on how busy they are. I really don't know. I just wish it wasn't Easter weekend. Yeah, Harry Kane's put England in front. Happy days. Well, they've got Kane up front, James. Foden's playing. Sterling. Chilwell. I think he's a full-back in here at the back. I think Mason Mount's in there as well. It's pretty much the same team he's been playing like over the last few weeks, really. I wouldn't like to say, mate. I don't pay that much attention to England, to be honest. I'll watch the game if they're on, but if they're boring, I turn them off. I've seen too many 0-0 draws for England teams. Like they hurry around with the ball like and scurry about with it, but create nothing. And I don't like that. I'd rather see them like missing the target or hitting the target, or at least having a go, rather than just passing it around all the time. But they've got a penalty and gone 1-0 up anyway, so if they can hold on to that and not concede a goal, then they've won, haven't they? But Poland are a decent team, like, so we'll see. Yeah. Back to the fishing anyway, Saturday or Friday even, because Friday's bank holiday, isn't it? It's Easter weekend, Friday, Monday. I haven't really decided what to do fishing wise. I'm definitely going to go on Monday, because Monday is the day that everybody will be going home. So, and I'm a day angler, me. I generally tend to fish afternoons anyway, afternoons and evenings. So I can go on Monday and stay till like 8 o'clock on Monday night. And, by the time tea time rolls around, everybody will have gone. So I'm quite into the idea of going on Monday at the moment, but I'm not sure what other days I'm going to go, if I go at all. I may just swerve it, maybe do some work on the house or something like that instead. Yeah, tune into the actual tournament, James. Yeah, you watch it then, yeah. They should qualify, really. They're in a group of Mickey Mouse teams, like, so they should do all right. Back in a bit, UK, Glasgow. Okay, mate. Mod Juicy, and gave your channel a big yesterday. Gave your channel a share on a big channel. I don't know what that's about, mate. Have you sorted your mods yet? Yeah. He's here. Yeah. Danny sometimes helps us out now and again, or he has done in the past, like, but at the moment it's just me. But I don't really think I have to worry about mods. The channel's not big enough, and the live stream isn't big enough, and I'm not the kind of person who'll take any flack. If I get a trouble causer in here, like, they'll be dealt with. So I'm not too worried about the mods, really. We've had some shenanigans before in the past, like, and I literally booted them all out. Anybody who was causing trouble or associated with people who was causing trouble just went. So yeah, it's just little old me. But it's so small anyway, this live stream. Like, there's generally only the same people here over and over again. It very, very rarely gets more than about 15 or 20 people. And it's always like slow enough that I can keep up with what's going on. So I'm quite happy with that. I like to keep it that way, to be honest. Danny, fishing all 4 days. Why does that not surprise me at all? Gizmo, Rob, evening chaps. All 4 days. I hope you're going to take your kids with you for a few of those days, Danny, because you should really be having some family time as well, mate. Can't just go fishing all the time. Decided to prove myself this week. Super low stock carp lake, 25 carp in it. High pressure, first night and a fish out. That's as long as it's not Belmont. Because that's not proving yourself. It's not even close. You're going to tell me it's Belmont now, aren't you? You don't prove yourself on a garden pond, Danny. yeah, anyway. Yeah, what am I going to do at the weekend besides Monday? 6 or 7 hours on a Monday afternoon. That's all I've got in the bank at the moment, and I really don't know what else to do. Potentially I could go any or all of them, but I don't want to do that really. Not on an Easter weekend. It's going to be busy, isn't it? Let's be honest. We've just had some cracking weather. People talking about 70 degrees on the temperatures. I'm not sure they're that high, but it's been lovely out for the last 2 days, and yeah, I think that will drag a lot of people out this weekend. Slight lifting of rules so people can travel. I have a sneaking suspicion everywhere is going to be bedlam. But then again, there is the COVID rules, and some people may decide to stick to them. I can't think why, but yeah, we'll see. You're kidding, Rob? That surely can't be right. Snow from next Monday. Seriously? I'm going to check the forecast now. I'm just going to fire up a browser on this other computer and check the forecast for that, because I just don't believe that. Mind you, we did have a beast from the east, didn't we? How many years ago was that? 1, 2, 3? I can remember it being bitterly cold in April, and I actually caught a carp in the snow. My second ever snow carp. I was made up with that, because it's only the second one I've ever had. Let's see, go to the weather. I just want to see this for sure. Gary says yes, snow on Monday. Whittle seems a lot of rain. Manchester and other places forecast snow. Usually Manchester gets the rain, Rob. It's known as the rainy city, isn't it? Let's have a look. Weather, BBC. What am I going to put in? I'm just going to have a look at my postcode. Nope. The forecast up to the 8th of April has no snow in it at all. According to the BBC, that is. In fact, it's going to be dry all over the holiday weekend. Okay, it's only going to be 11 degrees. Oh, Monday 6 degrees, Tuesday 7 degrees. Ouch. That's going to hurt, isn't it? Well, I'm definitely going on Monday now, because it's only going to be 6 degrees. And that'll send everybody running for the hills. Let's be honest. I'm going to try Manchester and see what it says, because Rob says try Manchester. Yeah, that's cold. That I might have to put the heating back on. Let's go for the airport of Manchester. Oh yeah, a little bit of snow. Monday the 5th, 6 degrees daytime high, -6 the daytime low. So it looks like we're going to get clocked by a beast from somewhere, aren't we, on Monday? Oh dear. That'll knock the fishing back a bit. Did it to prove a point, no different to any other place. Carp is a carp, 6 pegs. People on 25 carp in this water still needs to catch them. One night, one fish. Oh dear. Bankside making another video. Right, okay, nice one. Happy days. Temperature's dropping, yeah. Manchester, cold overnight. Just change your species to match the temp. Nah, mate, I'm not changing my species now, mate. It's summer. It's springtime, like, and it's carp fishing. I'll stick with that now till at least the summer. I do fancy a bit of barbel fishing this year, but it all depends on the carp fishing, really. If it's too tempting, then I'll stick with the carp. But we'll see. Yeah, you're not wrong there, Rob. Freezing is right. Yeah, 6 degrees in the day and -6 at night. That's awful, isn't it? And then Tuesday 5 degrees in the day, -2 at night. Wednesday 7 and 1. Thursday 9 and 2. And then the Friday after 9 and 2. Saturday 9 and 2. Sunday 10 and 3. Ooh. Monday the 12th, 11 and 4. Tuesday the 13th, 12 and 5. So it is warming up again slowly, isn't it, after that cold snap that's coming on Monday. But it's going to be slow going. I mean, it'll only get back to 12 degrees by Tuesday the 13th, which is what, a week and a half later, something like that. That's a nasty cold snap, that. And I would imagine it will put them down for a while at least. What is Sunday? So 12 tomorrow, 12 Friday, 11 Saturday, 11 Sunday. Right, okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. I will go fishing on Monday, 6 degrees. I'm quite happy with that. I think it'll be all right. It's right at the beginning of the cold snap, isn't it? So I think I'll be okay. Gonna chance me arm. Evening, Ant. You all right, mate? Yeah. So Danny's Bankside filming a video. It's dark outside. Or nearly is. Does it pay off to spend the first night of a 2 or 3 day trip just throwing bait out and not putting the rods out? No, not really, James. I think he's just better off just getting the rods in. I think if you've got the rods in and you're not catching, sometimes taking the lines out for a while could have any effect. It all depends on the water and the situation you're in, mate. But I think unless it's a mega busy water with lines permanently in all the time and every swim full, then you're probably better off putting your rods out. It's when you get those to the stages where the lake's full, everybody's got 2 rods out and nobody's catching anything. Under those circumstances, yeah, taking the rods out for a while can help, like. But most of the time, I would say not. Well, it's a situation you have to judge yourself on the day, and you'd have to kind of play it by ear and, you know, look around you, look what's getting caught, get a feel for it. It's making decisions like that comes with experience, I suppose. I have taken lines out of the water in the past and left me rods out for a while to give them a rest and you know, let them come into an area and get established in the area first, like before I put my bait in. I've done that in the past, but it's generally it's a session decision, and I don't session fish anymore, me. So I would generally just chuck the rods in. If I see the fish there, I throw the rods in and try and get on them and try and get the bite, because that's all you're trying to do when you fish short sessions, nick a bite. But yeah, it can, in some circumstances, mate, it can be a help. I know it sounds strange or counterintuitive to take your rods out to catch your fish, but yeah, it can work. Got the high in Chester today was 21. Wow. Seems to be getting a lot of things coming through on my phone tonight. I prefer mesh ants, but I've got both. Do we use PVA bags or mesh? Mainly mesh, but I have got a stack of PVA bags. I've got literally hundreds of them, mate. Packets and packets and packets. I pick them up sometimes, you know, when I'm going to the shop. I'll just get a bag of PVA bags. But I buy more than I use. So I end up with, I think I've got about 300, something like that, waiting to be used. Like, so I'm just not going to buy any more till they're gone. And I've got all different types. I like the ESP ones. There's a video on this channel about PVA bags, top 3 PVA bags, I think it's called. And the ESP ones, the perforated ones with the holes in them, my favourites. Not that I use them very often. I found myself using them a bit last year, but I didn't exactly catch a lot with them, to be honest. But I didn't really give them a fair go. I was fishing like a short 4-inch hook link with fake corner, one pop up, one sinker. So it sank dead slow. It was critically balanced, and yeah, it worked. I caught a few on it, like, but not loads. Not as many as I would have liked, to put it that way. Yeah, you see, I'm the opposite to you, Ant. I would not use a PVA bag on a short session if I can help it. Unless you can lower the PVA bag in without making any sound. You know, the whole idea of a short session is you get the bait in front of the fish without spooking them. So if you're casting out a dirty, great big PVA bag and it goes skadosh on the water, that to me is a no-no. I would not do it. I would rather just put the lead with a bait on and maybe a very, very small mesh bag. But I don't like the idea of using big PVA bags that are going to make a big splash on a short session. It's not for me, mate. Stealth is the way to go. Anthony's question has reminded me of something else. Is the dissolvable foam just the standard stuff you get in the post and parcel, or is it lake friendly foam and anglers should use? No, it's standard parcel stuff, James. That's all I use. I ordered mine off eBay. In fact, I got a few cubic feet off eBay, but I haven't even started using it yet. I got it because I thought it was running low, and then I found another carrier bag full that one of my mates had given me, because he gave me a carrier bag full of packing foam as well. So I haven't even started using it. I've got so much of it, I've got enough to see me through the rest of my life. I think I don't need any more. So I have a little 6-inch plastic bag, so long, sealable one, and when I feel like I'm running low, I put a few more nuggets in. But everything I use it for, the nuggets, I tear them into 3. So I'm not wrapping a whole nugget round the rig. That's a waste. So I'll tear it up into 3 or 4, because you only want to wrap it round the hook and the hair so it doesn't tangle. So I just use a 1/4 or a 1/3 of a nugget. Yeah, just bought some of those bags off eBay, not ESP though. Which ones have you got, Gizmo? The other ones I like are Liquidus bags, and I've got Avid as well. They're okay too, but I like Liquidus and ESP the most. But I've got stacks of them, mate. Yeah, always put a foam nugget on, and every single cast has a foam nugget on it. Everything. Even the zigs, because I used the Fox zig floats, and there's a little hole in the float for you to stick your piece of rig foam in. So I'll tear a third of a foam nugget and roll it up and put it in the hole, and then I'll hook my zig on it so it doesn't tangle. Again, I get away with a third of a foam nugget, but yeah, it's on every cast, mate. Every single cast I make. Fold it around the shank, Rob. I never put the hook point into the foam. I just take a third, lick it and fold it, and that's it. So it should come off when it hits the water. The only reason it's there is to stop the hair from tangling around the hook shank, because you get a hook pull when that happens. Non-branded 20 for £2.60. That's not bad. I'm not sure how much the ESP ones are. About £3.5 for that many, something like that. So that's not bad, that. Yeah, I don't think I've ever put a hook point on a foam nugget. Just, I've always torn them up because they're too big to use a whole one. I just think, why waste it? So I know it's tight, but you know, if you're paying for them, then you should make them go as far as you can. And like I said, I've still got a carrier bag full, which my mate gave me, and it's going to be years before I've used them up. I'll probably never have to buy a foam nugget again, if I'm honest. So it's an essential item, one of my few essential items. Back again, Glasgow. All right, mate. But you've always got to have foam nuggets with you, like always, and always use them as well. But like I said, if you tear them into threes, they'll just go 3 times further. So the solar foam nuggets are massive. Yeah, I would never spend money on solar foam nuggets. Basically, he robbed everybody blind, didn't he, when they come out? Foam nuggets, everybody went mad for them, like, to keep the rigs all neat and tidy and stuff like that. And basically he was just selling everybody packing foam. There's been a few people who've pulled stunts like that in carp fishing over the years. I remember Kevin Maddox bringing out KM carp nuggets, specially designed to break down in 12 hours, pellets. And basically they were halibut pellets. He was rebagging halibut pellets. Yeah, there's some people in the carp world will just they'll got a brass neck, haven't they? Hiya, Rob. Yeah, I'm all right, mate. But, still watching the footy, and it's still 1-0. So yeah, good foam nuggets, always good. On your zigs, on your rigs, on everything. Oh, do we give them free? Right, okay. That's fair enough, mate. If they're free, that's fine. I got 2 carrier bags full off a mate, and it's taken me, when did he give us them? Over 15 years ago, and it's taken me 15 years to get through one bag. And I'm on to the other one now. I'd actually forgot the other one. I had it, like it's still knocking round. I found it in the cupboard. I put them away for safekeeping, and forgotten about them, and gone and bought some more. So I'm loaded with them at the moment. I know what some people do is they sell A4, you know, A4 plastic bags full, and they flog them for £1 a bag. So you can buy like so many cubic litres of them. You can fill stacks and stacks of these A4 plastic bags, and then whap them on eBay for £1 each. Evening, Ian. All right, mate. How did your 3-day session go, mate? Are you on it now? When did we come out of lockdown? It was Monday, wasn't it? Yeah. What's a good tip for carp? You've only ever tried once. I'll give you the best tip in the world, mate. Location, location, location. Forget everything else. Bait, rigs, doesn't matter. Gotta find the fish. Simple as that. Everything you do comes after you found the fish. So, you know, it's easy to get sidetracked with baits and rigs and stuff like that, and most of the time they don't matter. Any combination will work. The tackle companies don't like to tell you that, or the bait companies, they've got to have their special bait or something like that, or oh my god, I would never have caught this fish without such and such and such and such a rig, or such and such and such and such a rod or bait or whatever. And it's all absolute bollocks. You've got to put the bait in the right place, and that's like 98% of it. 98% sticking it in the right place, which you've got to do yourself on the day, and 1% bait, 1% rig. That's it. So find them, chuck a bait in front of them, and the curious creatures, like, they should pick it up and you should get a bite. Fox rapide, I haven't tried that, Ian. I nearly bought one of them last time I was in Dave's in Middlewich, which must have been early last year. Fox rapide, I looked at it and thought, ooh, should I get that? And then I bought some more ESP bags instead. But yeah, it seems to be a decent system. Like, it's easy to put them together. You lick them, don't you? Lick the bags, and then twist and then push it back on itself, like, so it goes into it like an egg shape. I think it's an egg shape anyway. But yeah, they look all right, and they seem to work all right. Yeah, you're welcome, mate. Just get on the fish. The most important thing in the world, and the one that we probably ignore the most. Is Andy Clark in the chat? Thank you, mate. You were spot on about future fishing, doing the 3 dog and TXIs. Yeah, he gets a lot of stuff from future fishing, James. You consider him pulling the trigger on it? I would. For that price, 465 and receiver, I would pull the trigger on that one, mate. You won't get it any cheaper unless you buy them second hand, in which case they're used. I don't think Andy's in the chat tonight. I think he's laid up. He's got health problems at the moment. I think he's still got them anyway. A recurrence of something that happened to him last year. So he's not in the chat tonight. Yeah, fast and easy to use. That's what you want, innit? I mean, I've got some PVA bags made up permanently. I keep them in a bucket, and I can have like 10 or 15 on the go at any one time. Like, so we can just like take one out, loop it onto me line with a loop-to-loop knot, and then cast out, and it's ready to go. But they've all got fake baits on. I can't put a real one on, and you know, if you do them in advance with a real bait, it dries out in the bag and it'll float when it's not supposed to. So you can only do it with fake baits, and I like to use a real one where I can, to be honest. So yeah, anything that's fast and easy is good in my book. How do you find them in the lake? What are you looking for? What, the fish? You're just looking for telltale signs, Rob. Just have a walk around and look and pay attention. You can, if the water's clear enough, you can see them like submarines under the water. A pair of decent glasses helps, polarizing glasses. They take the glare off the water so you can see easier. So if you haven't got polarizing glasses, then I'd definitely get a pair. Fish will roll, jump. They do all kinds of things. They'll cruise along the top with their backs out the water in the sunshine sometimes. You've just got to go find them, mate. And when you found them, try and work out what they're doing. Sometimes they're half asleep, you can stumble over them right under your feet, and other times they can be out in the middle bashing out. And you've just got to look for them. If you can't find them, if you can't physically see them, then check out features in a lake. Snags is a favourite place, so anywhere with like trees falling in and stuff like that, anywhere snaggy or known to be snaggy, you'll usually find carp. Lily pads, weed beds, stuff like that, all worth looking. Spend some time investigating them and looking around them, because they'll be around somewhere. You may not see them, you may just see the weed move, or pads, shaking and then moving slightly as the fish move through them. Just little things like that, subtle little things. Just keep looking, keep your eyes peeled, and focus, and you will find them. They can hide quite easily sometimes. Like, it can look like there's no fish in the lake, but if you keep your eyes peeled, eventually you'll see them. My favourite type of finding them is rolling fish, where they'll head and shoulder. So they'll stick the head up vertical and then drop back down again, and then you get a big patch of bubbles as they start digging in the bottom. So you get bubbling and fizzing and stuff like that. Tail patterns is another one. Gizmo, that's another one of my favourites as well. Finding tail patterns on the water. So when they flick the tail or move it, waft it from side to side when they're swimming, boils on the surface of the water. And you sometimes you'll just see the boil, and the water like vortex of water. And there's one there, like you're looking at the tail pattern of a fish. Once you've found them, you just lower a bait in the area if you can. Lower it in or cast it in, whatever. As long as you can find them and get a bait in the area that they're in, usually they'll pick it up because they're curious. They can't do anything else. They can't pick it up in their hand and hold it, like they've got to put it in their mouth. So yeah, the bites come pretty quick. Like, if you can get a bait in an area without spooking them and making them nervous, then a bite will usually come pretty quickly. Currently reading an old book that was left at the train station called Freshwater Fishing Properly Explained by Ian Ball. Fantastic little book that covers the basics. I've never heard of Ian Ball. James, I don't know who he is. I've been around a long time, and I've got some books myself by people that, some will never have heard of, but Ian Ball, I've never heard of him. But yeah, if it covers the basics, mate, that's all you need really. Do the basics well, and you'll catch a lot of fish. Struggling finding them in your own lake, you should know exactly where they are, Rob. If it's your lake and you're walking around it every day, assuming you're walking around it every day, then you should be able to find them, mate, no problem. You should know off by heart whereabouts in the lake they will be at different times of the day. If I had a lake in my back garden, I'd know inside out. I'd spend an awful lot of time down there, I think, looking round. But time spent looking is never wasted, mate. Never wasted. Ian Ball covers the psychology of the fish and the whole man versus fish dynamic. Yeah, certainly excellent for a beginner. Yeah, it's that psychology is I think where a lot of people go wrong. Like, you need fish need two things really. They want to feel safe, and they want food. And if you need to look at your surroundings, look where they are in the water, and try and work out why they're there. So if you got like a big massive set of lily pads next to a bloodworm bed or something like that, in the water, then they're going to be in the pads, safety, and then when they come out, they can just venture out and then get the food they want and then go back in again. It's most of the time it's safety first, unless they're starving, in which case they'll throw caution to the wind and go looking for food. But always look for the safe areas first: snags, pads, weed, anything like that, any kind of man-made structure or underwater structure like a bar, stuff like that. They're the kind of things that they'll be hanging around, and they'll have their favourite little places, all of them, and you usually find them in the same places all the time. That's the psychology of the fish, like just food and safety, and everything they do in their life is governed by that. That's why you'll notice if you go on a lake, after you've been on a few lakes and you've been fishing for a few years, you'll notice the carp are always in the most hard to cast to places. They're always in, you know, somewhere, if there's an out of bounds area that you can't fish, they're in it. Do you know what I mean? It's safety first. They're not stupid, and they know where to go to get away from anglers and to feel safe. So overhanging trees on islands is another one, stuff like that. There's all different kinds of things. Some prefer one feature, others prefer another, and you've just got to look for them, find them, work them out. That's the psychology of it, and if you can get your baits in the right places, you'll catch. I like the psychology side of it, me. I like studying their behaviour. You know, when you found them, just watch them. I watched a load of fish on Cape Thornall once round the bridge, because those of you who don't know Cape Thorn, there's a bridge looking down onto lily pads. It's right in the middle of the lake, and they'll swim round, and they were following the same patrol route round and round in a circle, and it took a while before you noticed like that they were going the same route. They come round the pads, underneath a yew tree, round across a gap, up the side of some rhododendrons, and then they come right round in a big circle, loop round, and then follow the same route again, and you go round and round in a circle. And it took them 3 times to go round before I noticed it. I thought, oh look, they're going round, and they're going to come round again. I said, they're going to go there, they're going to go past them pads, they're going to go under that yew tree, they're going to go across that gap, and they're going to go round and round and round. And they did. I thought, right, okay, I need to get a bait on this route. And I think I spent about 4 hours watching them, and I waited half an hour for a bite as they came round, like, and they came over the bait. They were straight down on it because it was right in their path. And you've got to do things like that if you can watch them and get close up with them. Like, it's worthwhile spending the time looking at them, just studying them and watching their behaviour. I'm going to put the fish in my cock. You are a cock. There you go. That's what happens when you mess around. Yeah, 100%. I have a bait boat. Do you think they spook carp? They can do, I think, yeah. Yes and no. It depends what kind of mood the carp are in at the time. Like, you know, a bait boat, if they're used to seeing them, then a bait boat going over the area could send them packing. On, you know, the other side of the thing is you get your bait in the right spot, and if it's a safe area that they're always in, then they'll be back in that safe area very shortly, and you'll usually get a bite. It swings around about, Rob, with a bait boat. I've had one, I've used one. In the right hands, they're absolutely deadly, because you can put your baits in areas that you can't cast, you know, like under trees and stuff like that. I caught a load of fish using mine, absolute load of them. So I don't know, maybe not. I know one thing though. When I put my bait out by bait boat, it was always an hour or two before it went. Whereas if you cast in or lower the bait in, you could usually get a bite really quickly. Once you put a bait boat in, like it was never really quick with the runs. So they maybe do disappear for a while, but they'll usually come back. I've just put some more £10 carp in. 100 smaller coming in those next 2 weeks. So hoping to have some fun this summer. I'm sure you will, mate. You know, how big's the lake? Rob, how many acres is it? Do you know? I think 1 acre is 70 square yards, isn't it? So roughly how big? Yeah, you've got to find them, James. Find them, study them, get a bait in front of them. Most of the time they'll just be in the same area, just milling round, swimming around together. And you know, you can usually drop a bait in amongst them. Like, it's getting the bait in amongst them is the hard part, especially on waters that have got a lot of angling pressure. You know, one where a lot of people fish. I've fished quite a few where a lead weight landing in the water will empty your swim, literally. So you find the fish, you see them topping and rolling and stuff like that. You cast a bait in there and boof, that's it, they're gone. You don't see them for the rest of the day. It's like they know. But other times, like, you'll throw that lead in and they won't go, and the run will usually come then. But it's just keep at it, keep getting on them, keep getting in their face, and eventually you'll catch them. Bait boats, drones, fish finders, all part of fishing these days. And I've got or had them all, Gizmo. I mean, I sold me bait boats. I only bought it for a water that was it had power lines running across it, and the fish were always on the other side of the power lines, and you couldn't cast. The distance from the bank to the far bank where the fish were, because there was no fishing on the far bank as well, was so far that in order to get to cast there, your lead would have to go so high that it would go over the power lines. So the lads used to boat underneath it, and you have a bait boat. And yeah, it worked. Of course, a load of fish using it. I've got a drone, as you know. My Mavic Mini's on the floor down here. And I've got a deeper as well. So I've got them all, mate. As far as I'm concerned, my attitude to technology and fishing, I don't night fish. I don't sit there with a bivvy, camping at the waterside waiting for the fish to come along and suck me bait up. I'm actually after them on short sessions, like, so I've only got like 5, 6, 7 hours to catch a fish. And if a bait boat or a drone or a fish finder helps me find them and helps me work them out, then I will take that. You know, I would rather cut out all the dead time finding out and know something for sure than sit there bivvy bound just boring them out, trying to bore them out. So yeah, bait boat, drone, fish finder, I've either owned them or have owned all of them. So there we go. And I have no qualms about using them either. Absolutely none at all. Anything, if it gives me an advantage and a competitive edge over the bivvy lads, I'll take it. Luke, 490 fish. Excellent, mate. That's you're going up there. You seem to be catching more each trip. That's not a bad session, that, Luke. Well done, mate. Rob, 3 acres. Right, okay, that's a decent sized lake then. You've probably got enough fish in there then, Rob, haven't you, with 100 smaller ones going in. You want to leave them room to grow, mate. Yeah, fish a minute for 8 hours solid. Yeah, I think it's a commercial. I would imagine most of the fish, Rob, will be roach. can you do some more videos with your drone? Yeah, I intend to use it for some, Rob, but just haven't got round to it. A lot of waters of fish you can't use them. Some I can, but where I can I will. The club waters are mainly fish have banned filming altogether, so I can't film videos on them. So I'm a bit stuck where I can and can't go. I've got a couple of waters I can film my videos on, but you know, we're still in spring, like we're only just out of winter really, and with all this lockdown and stuff like that. So I've not really done any filming. I've got a couple of projects in mind, but I just haven't got around to them yet. But at least one of them should have some drone footage in. I haven't filmed it yet. It hasn't been out of its box since last year, the drone. But yeah, I shall get some footage in a few of the films, mate, don't worry. Massive help on a 200-acre lake, yeah. What's that gizmo, the boat, the fish finder or the drone? I'd say all three of them, mate. They'd all help on a 200-acre lake. That's a massive lake. Ian's always got his deeper on the back of the boat. Right, okay. I haven't got a boat at the moment, Ian. I cast my deeper. I do have a wire trace on it to make sure that the pike don't get it, or to make sure to get it back if the pike get it. One of my mates lost his to a pike. Took it off the surface and then bit off his braid. And I don't think he ever got it back. I think he had to buy a new one. But yeah, if you've got a boat, I suppose it's easier to map out a lake with a boat, isn't it, rather than casting. I don't mind either way. Sometimes it's worth doing, isn't it? I got some video footage at the weekend, by the way. I've been trying to film runs for the future videos, you know, like what they call B-roll. So when you're explaining something, you can cut to a piece of film, and one of the pieces of films I wanted to cut to was a run, and I left my camera on filming on Saturday evening, hoping for a run. It never came, unfortunately, like, but what I did capture was some guy with a deeper on the far bank, turned up, decided to packed all his gear up, got his deeper out, decided to map the lake a little bit, and decided to map my swim from the opposite bank, and all you can see is this deeper go ooh, skadoosh, straight in me swim. This on a day ticket water. I mean, it did land 20 or 30 yards out in front of me, but I was actually fishing 20 or 30 yards out on a zig. So you kind of like wreck me chances for the evening, if you like. I'm blaming him anyway for not catching anything. And it's on film. I took it off the camera at the weekend and edited it down to this 17 or 18 second clip, and I've called it Day Ticket Punisher with a deeper. And I'm just debating whether to upload it. No, I didn't shout over Rob. It's only the brickworks, mate. So don't bother. It's only a water just to get me out of the house. Like, it's not like he's just trust to swim on capes or anything like that. It's just leave him to it. The behaviour on that lake is not the best. I had a lead land in front of me the other week, 10 yards out from my peg, from my bank, from the opposite bank, and I got up and looked over, and the lad realised, he thought he mustn't have been able to see me, because I put my rods out and then I hide behind the trees so no one can see me. So, you know, your rods are out but it looks like no one's there, and keeping quiet and out of sight is alien to anybody who fishes the brickworks, like, because they're all stand at the front of the pegs shouting across the lake to each other. So this lead came crashing into me swim, like right about 10 yards out. And I just poked my head round the bush. He never cast it there again. Once he knew it was there, I only had to poke my head round. But yeah, these things happen on day ticket waters, like especially ones that are mad busy. So you just have to bite your lips sometimes and let them get on with it. I caught enough fish out of the lake, and I will go back in a few weeks' time, like once the late nights start coming. I think it's late until about 8 o'clock now, isn't it? 8 o'clock, maybe 10 past 8. And once it reaches like 9 o'clock, I'll go fishing in the evening. I'll finish work at 5 o'clock and clear off. Go to the lake instead. Evening Stu Vinter, all right, mate? Yeah, can I come fishing with you, Luke, to your local park lake? Your park lake must be stuffed with fish, mate. To catch one a minute for about 8 hours, that's an awful lot of fish. Kind of reminds me of like match fishing. They put together big results like that in match fishing, but the waters they fish are absolutely stuffed. Upload, it's all fun. Yeah, I might do, Rob, you never know. We'll see. I've got the clip anyway. It's only about 17-18 seconds long. Have you used a lake book with your deeper? No, I haven't, mate. I use my deeper sparingly, Ian. I have a tablet for it. It has its own special tablet. A little Android, 6 or 7 inch one that I bought specially for it. I'll use the little Android tablet with a pair of glasses on so I can see what I'm doing, and I'll cast it out, wind it in, I'll go over the area I want to look at to see how deep it is, or if what the bottom's like, how hard it is in different places and stuff like that, if there's any weed. I don't use it for looking for fish, I just use it for mapping the bottom, and once that's done it goes away, and I don't do anything else with it. I've not used a lake book or anything. I've just I do what the swim is in front of me and then clear it out, and that's it. I think one of my mates uses the lake book. There's one thing where it uploads into, I don't know, some cloud or other, and it gives you like a coloured depth map of the lake around the different areas, and different colours for how deep it is. Bit like the ones that they sell you. You can download them, can't you, for popular day ticket waters and stuff like that. So it's something like that, but I've not used it myself. Like one of my mates used it on. I lent mine to one of my mates, and he mapped out Osmere. When I mapped Osmere with it, and showed us the map that he'd done for the areas and where he'd cast it. It coloured it in. Is that what you're talking about? Random question tonight. When you're into night fishing, what was your evening meal choice on the bank? Beans. Beans, pot noodle. If I go night fishing now, usually I take the first night will be casserole. I'll take a frozen casserole out of the freezer and heat it up in a pan, and I'll have casserole, which is like chicken, vegetables, stuff like that. Definitely getting me 5 a day out of them. I don't night fish these days, like, so usually it's just tins of either chicken, vegetable soup, or beans on toast. Oh, Poland have equalised. That wasn't in the script, was it? That was one of the good things about fishing big waters. Plenty of space, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. I do like a big water. They're a special challenge. Saturday was netting, help others catch fish. Sunday fished method. Had a stunning carp and a few others. Good fun. Fishing's always fun, Danny. Unless you're blanking. Yeah, Stu gets meals prepped from home and freezes them. And then he just warms them up, which is basically what I was doing with the casserole. They're frozen and just lob it in a pan and warm it up. You can do that for a while, but you know, you don't want to leave them unfrozen for too long. You don't want to end up giving yourself food poisoning or anything like that. So first night, I'll usually have a casserole, and then second night I rarely do more than two. And these days, if I'm going fishing for 2 nights, it's usually a social with the lads. Local pizza place, thank you. And in between times, it's either a barbecue or beans on toast, or beans in a pan, beans and sausage. I rarely have a pot noodle these days. I just no. They're crap, aren't they? Just eating crap pot noodles. Evening, Will. He's forgot it was Wednesday. 1 day left in work and then a nice 5 days. I'm thinking the same myself, Will, but I'm not off to Merrington. But yeah, 1 day left and then it's a nice long weekend to do some fishing, if I so choose to. Yeah, all day breakfast, Rob, I remember that. All day breakfast in a tin. I've had a few of them. It's like beans, sausage and potato, and I think they even have a couple of mushrooms in there. Although you're lucky if you get 2 in a tin. But yeah, all day breakfast is another good one. You eat well on the bank thanks to the wife. Yeah, it's good, that stew. Like I said, casserole, can't beat it, mate. Or curry. Again, done in a slow cooker and frozen down afterwards. Can't whack a pot noodle. They're just not healthy, Danny. That's all. They're just not good for you. I'm at an age now where I can't eat food like that. I've had to stop. I can't eat. I rarely eat pizza these days. I'd have to be away with the lads to eat a pizza. I've had to stop them. Pot noodles, anything like that, anything that's crap. I have to have like vegetables and white meat, chicken, stuff like that. Just healthy stuff. I struggle with anything spicy, pizzas, pot noodles, crap. Anything that's crap, I struggle with. And you will too as you get older, mate. You'll soon realise in 20 years. And it's not that far away. Yeah, leave them in a cool bag, stay frozen for days. 4 days, that's not bad, that's due. I've got a cool box and mine only lasts, mine's a Coleman 10. It's an old cool box, like I've had it 30 odd years, but it'll only keep them frozen till the next day. So 4 days is good going, mate. Maybe I need a new one. Yeah, see, you got quiet venues, Danny. The 4 venues I've picked out are all going to be busy. 2 of them have got 40s in now. So I'm expecting them to be busy. And yeah, some of the most high profile circuit waters in Cheshire. But there we go. Cooking on the bank. You like cooking on the bank, Ian, do you? I don't. Local kebab shop, that's more like it. Yeah. Hungry. I've had some cracking bankside food, like, I tell you what is good, barbecues. You know, if you're allowed to barbecue on the lake or something like that, when we go away with the lads for wherever they're going, I've pulled out of Norton Disney this year, but when we've been to Sandhurst and anywhere like that, we always have a barbie, and it's brilliant. sausages, bacon, whatever, anything, spicy chicken, all goes on the barbecue. It's absolutely brilliant. Chicken kebabs, yeah, kebabs go on the barbecue as well, with the skewer, and they just turn them over. Tesco's doing a kilo of salmon for a tenner. One thing I don't eat. Will has steak, asparagus and potatoes. Yeah, that sounds nice. Can't beat a good steak. Bankside curry. Yeah, that's another one. Curry. It's usually 50-50 in it. When you say, what do you want, curry or pizza? It'll end up split down the middle because you can never decide which one. Sale Water Park. Ian's fed me sausage rolls and donuts. Yeah, well, I've had enough of them. That was another favourite of mine, sausage rolls and either meat and potato or chicken and mushroom pies. I never liked steak pies. I don't know why, I just can't get on with the steak pie. But just a plain meat and potato or a chicken and mushroom is they were a staple for me. Used to eat them on Hatchmere years ago. Hatchmere is a PA water in Delamere Forest, and back in the day, before it became the circus that it is now, you weren't allowed a stove at all, so you couldn't cook. Stoves were banned. A few lads did try and sneak one on, like, but you know, they'd always get caught, or they'd always be looking over their shoulder and stuff like that. So I used to take a flask, 2 litre flask of just water and a pint of milk, you know, for making cups of tea, to see you through the night for tea and coffee. And food for the trip was sausage roll, pasty, crisps, enough to get you through the night, like, so, you know, so you'd have a bite to eat before you went to bed, and then, you know, you'd have a sausage roll or a pasty left for the morning, and then you'd get off home after doing, you know, an overnighter. And yeah, that worked out quite well. So pasties and sausage rolls, good call there, Stu. Chinese, another one, yeah. No, I don't like any kind of salmon. The only fish I eat, Rob, is tin tuna. I like tin tuna, and that's it, mate. I don't eat anything else. So I won't have salmon or cod or plaice or haddock, anything like that. Don't eat any of them, just tuna. That's the only one I'll eat. I'll have like tuna and sweet corn sandwiches or something like that. Got a Coleman twin burner, yeah. That'll do you for cooking. Just like having a miniature kitchen. Gareth Jagger, alright mate, just got some pigeon conditioner. What should I feed it with? I'm not sure I understand the question, mate. There's a video on me main channel. You're on a like the B channel here at the moment, Gareth, like, but my main channel's called Mark Carp. If you go and have a look at that, there's a video on preparing pigeon conditioner. Although, to be honest, I prefer to boil it in a pan than do it in a cool box. I think it's better than done in a pan. I haven't done a video on doing it in a pan yet, but basically you just simmer it for 20 minutes and it should be alright, or half an hour, and it should be okay. Yeah, I'm not quite sure what should I feed it with means. Feed with it, sorry. Okay, glasses. Sorry, Gareth. What should I feed with it? You've got a choice, mate. I use maple peas with mine in the pigeon conditioner video. They go great, but obviously you've got to prepare them as well. Lob some sweet corn in with it, maize, tiger nuts, the world is your oyster, mate. They all work. They all work well. I mean, I used maples at the time because I had a sack of maples and I'd just done a video on preparing maples. You can put chickpeas with them, as Gizmo says. Puts chicks in. Mix some hemp in with it, as Rob says. Wheat is another one. Basically, you can put any particle you want in with the pigeon conditioner. But maple peas was my choice, and if I was going to do it again, I'd put tiger nuts in, mate. Definitely. Tiger nuts are great because they ferment, so the water that they're in goes like jelly. So if you lob your tiger nuts in with the pigeon conditioner, like, all the jellied water gets all over the seeds. Lovely. What fish could refuse that? Yeah, tuna. It's good, healthy food for you, isn't it, Will? Tuna. I like it. Like, I eat it quite regularly, but it's the only fish I will have. 50-50 hemp. Yeah. Hemp's gone expensive. And the pigeon conditioner keeps it cheap. Yeah, tiger nuts, mate. Definitely give them a go. Walnut on the hook. Never tried a walnut. It's one of the few nuts I haven't tried. Hemp pellets and boilie. Yeah, fair play, Stu. You can actually fish boilies over the top of it as well, or feed boilies with it. You know, there's no issues there. Like I said, it's anything. It's what I call a holding food. So it's only tiny little seeds, and once they're on the bottom, the fish will grub around, and they'll stay in the area, or if they leave, it encourages them to come back and have another go. You know, they might come down, grub about a bit, then go away, and then come back and grub some more. It just keeps them in the area and holds them. But you can just fish anything you want over the top of it. Mix some pellets in with it as well. So put your pigeon conditioner in, sweet corn, pellets, boilies, broken down chopped boilies. Make it into a nice spod mix and just fish that over it. And as Will says, the armour mesh. I do like the armour mesh. Once you've made a little mix of everything with pellets and sweet corn in and stuff like that, you can just pick the whole spod mix up and wrap some in some armour mesh and fish with it if you wanted to, or just fish a boilie or whatever over the top. Whatever's in your feed, pellet, tiger nuts, boilie, whatever, if you put something with your feed and fish one of them on the hook, you should be alright. Yeah, the conditioner it's loads cheaper. But I know I did the cool box method on my channel for preparing it, but it's a lazy way of doing it, and I do actually think that boiling it for half an hour is better. Dr. Frankenstein, hi mate. Hook do you use for a hair rig? Depends really, mate, on what kind of fish you're fishing for. I mean, if I was fishing a lake full of 30s and 40s, I'd probably use a size 4. If I was fishing for doubles, maybe a 6 or an 8. Generally, I think you should just match the hook size to the size of your bait. So if you're on a 20mm boilie, a size 4 is great. If you're on a 15 or a 16, then a 6. If you're on a 12 or a 10mm, then an 8. Match it to your bait size so that it's balanced, and you should be alright. Hiya John. Little late, watch it back, yeah. Good to see you here, mate. Are you out and about yet? I was watching you on, was it Turf Pool the other day? Catching that late one. Fergie time winner. We do like a Fergie time winner, don't we? And I just wondering if you've gone back to the bowl yet, or you're not bothering with the place this year. For those of you who don't know, by the way, John runs Chasing Chunks Facebook group and a YouTube channel of the same name. Will's Carp Fishing's got a channel. Danny's Angling Blog is a YouTube channel as well. So you should all go and have a look at them if you're not subscribed to them already. Who else has got a channel? I'll scroll back and have a look and see if anyone else has got one. No, I think that's it, isn't it? No one else. None that I know of, anyway. The wife hand makes boilies about the size of an average marble. That's about 16 mil, so they'd be good with the size 6. Or she puts 1 or 2 on with chickpeas. Yeah, chickpeas are good on an 8. Or even smaller at 10. It's all about the size of the bait and matching the hook to the size of the bait. Yeah, Will and John, both decent and genuine, absolutely. Yeah, I tell you what though, Dr. Frankenstein, if your missus is making the baits, then you want to get her some rolling tables, mate. Rather than sitting there like that, going like that, rolling the baits is an absolute ball ache. You can get a Gardner roller ball. It doesn't even, they have 2. They have a long base one which is dead wide, and a narrow one which is, you know, so long. It doesn't do the same amount of base as a long base, which is for bulk. But just a standard rolling table, I think they're about 12 quid, and a sausage gun. And you put the mix in the sausage gun and you gun it out onto the table, clamp it down, just go like that, and you get like perfect round balls, because the sausage is the same size as the circles on the rolling table. Just clamp it down, and you get a stack full of bait. You'll be able to do your baits a lot quicker than hand rolling them. There might actually be some bait making coming to this channel, by the way, just so you know. I was actually looking the other day at the Gardner rollerballs. I sold all my bait making stuff 25 years ago, something like that. Back in the 90s, basically I got a job, and I used to roll it myself, like, because it was cheap, and I didn't have to spend out money. So I used to roll my own, like, but once I got a job, I just thought I'll just buy it and spend the time fishing instead. And that's what I've always done since. But I have actually been thinking of getting a couple of rollerballs back again. What got me thinking that is my other house that I haven't done out at the moment before I move into it. Because I was thinking, like, well, I've got a full kitchen up there. I can get a chest freezer in there because it's my house. I can lob a chest freezer in there. I can do what the hell I want. I thought, oh, that's an idea. And I started looking at rollerballs for bait making. So you may actually see some bait making coming to this channel in future. So watch this space. I was just checking how much they were, like, for the sausage table to roll the sausages, the actual gun itself, and a couple of rolling tables. Yeah, watch this space. It's not going to be any time soon, like, but I'm pretty sure I am going to buy the stuff. So, and I will be making some of my own baits again. Right, let's have a look. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to scroll back a bit. Yeah, cheers, Stu. So am I as well. Thank you. Getting back on the DNA bug Friday. Did give it a little go last weekend. It smells nice. We'll be taking the S7 as well. I like the S7, Ian. I've had quite a few fish on that lately. It's proven to be quite a good bait. I've got confidence in it. I mean, and I'm a Scopex squid user. It'll take a lot to get me off Scopex squid because it's got such an amazing track record. But I do like the S7. It certainly catches fish. Gareth got me biggest roach yesterday. Don't know how big it was because I don't have any scales, but it was comfortably bigger than my size 9 shoe. Wow. Best fish I've ever caught, including all the carp. That's a decent roach, that, mate. A size 9 shoe. I'd say that's £1.50, maybe 2. Size 9 shoe. I'm just looking at how big. I'm in a size 11. So yeah, I'll give you the £1.50, mate. Which is a really nice roach. Gotta say, that's a cracker. Stu's using the switch this year. We had a really good season last year. Uses the switch. Is that DNA as well? I used to have a machine shop, which I still did. I could have made it a boiling machine. Yeah, you could, mate. Some people do have them, don't they? I've seen them where there's like a little conveyor of sausages and they just go and it's boilies dropping out the back. If you're mass producing and going into business, then stuff like that's all right, but otherwise just a sausage gun and a couple of rolling tables will do nicely. Also, I'll be using just the rolling tables. Just come off a 48-hour blank at Merrington. Okay, bowl is still go, but I'm waiting for the new members to blow the 48 hours before I jump on the baits. Oh right, okay, you got a PA ticket. Nice, excellent. That busy year. Yeah, well, there was I think there was 16 cars in the Gailey car park. John, is what I saw before on Facebook. Now, I looked at that and thought, well, that means 16 people are leaving on Friday, which is Easter bank holiday. And then I thought, well, how many of them are actually going to leave and how many of them are going to try and stay longer because you're only allowed to do 48 hours. It's a tricky one, isn't it? Stu's on there, yeah. Did 24 hours and blanked. It happens on there, Stu. The blanks are getting more and more as the years go by because the fish just getting smarter all the time. Well, they're not getting smarter, they just stay in out of range all the time. Will be back on the S7 this year. Yeah, I think you'll do well on it, mate. It's good. I like it. The S7. I think I'll be using it myself this year, to be honest. Yeah, take that. Absolutely. Back out fishing. Well in, Gareth. Temps are dropping when I get on Sunday. Yeah, we were talking about the temperatures before, Will. Rob said they were going down to well, he said it was going to snow, basically. I've actually still got the weather thing in front of me here for the week. Monday, 6 degrees of a day and -6 of a night. So Monday night's going to be bitter. She won't tell you what she puts in your baits. Bloody hell, mate, that's terrible. It's a good idea getting the rolling them now because those pheromones supposed to work really well. So if you can get your woman to roll your bait for you, then all power to your elbow, mate. Get there early, swim 14s, doing fish all the time. There you go. Get on it, Will. Yeah, I hate zig bands. I've been fishing the zig the last month or so, like, and it's been absolutely brilliant for me. And if they're fishing in the upper layers and you can't use a zig, then there's no point in fishing. You might as well just go home. It's ridiculous. You want to go home and tell them why you're not paying them. Just say, look, you know, I'm not going to pay you 30 quid for 24 hours when I can't fish zigs and fish it in the upper layers, wasting my time and your money, basically. I'd swerve them myself. I wouldn't go there if they don't allow zigs. You're missing something, Rob. Bait boats are banned on this particular water. Not allowed. So basically you'd have to cast and you can't reach. You can't reach where the cast in England have scored. Who's that? Maguire. Not bad for a mank. That's probably going to be a winner in it on 84 minutes. Like, I don't think they'll get an equaliser now. Let's have a look. Oh yeah, nice one. Just lashed it. Brilliant. You'd expect a mag to miss from there. Yeah, put a long pop-up on. I like that. No need to apologise, Rob. If you don't know the water, mate, we all know the water. John's a member, Stu's a member, I'm a member. So we know the water and the club and the rules. But if you don't know, then you wouldn't. But yeah, no bait boats allowed, mate. Anglers was at the gate at 3 AM. Couldn't start fishing till 11:30. I'll say you'd overpaid for him. The switch, is that the BT smelling one? Is it a DNA bait, to switch? I don't even know. Fish the bars with a 1 foot hook link. And forget to put your putty on the pop-up. Yeah. Yeah. What constitutes a zig? How high does your bait have to be off the bottom before it's called a zig? That's what I'd like to know. I'm just going to go to Google. Yeah, it's DNA, thanks to you. I was literally just going to the DNA Baits website to see what boilies they had. Because I don't know about the switch. The switch, yeah. Here it is. Oh, do you switch ground bait? Switch liquids, switch hook bait, switch pellets. Switch boilies. They do everything, don't they? Switch paste, switch shelf life, switch freezer. Let's have a look. this particular bait, or more so the concept, is something we've worked on for 4 to 5 years, blah 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 blah. Bait that was something that would complete nutritionally with the best fish meals on the market, yada yada yada. So that will do attitude was, so no, that will do attitude was acceptable. Blah blah blah. So it's a fish meal. Pea protein, isolate, rennet casein, calcium caseinate, whey protein, beef protein. All above the 80% mark. This is high spec, blah blah blah. Hydrolyzed yeast and liver. It's a classic, isn't it? It's got everything in there that a top class fish meal would have. High-end ingredients, okay, but no. Baits are actually boiled for over a minute. Less for the rest of the range, preserving more amino acids. That looks all right. That's you can tell just by looking at it, it's a good bait. Where are we? James, what hours am I putting in over the coming months? At the moment, mate, I only fish on Saturdays, Saturday afternoon and into the evening, you know, like 1, 2 o'clock in the afternoon through till dark. And once it's light till 10 o'clock, that'll probably be 3 or 4 in the afternoon till dark. I will start doing a midweek session. It'll either be Tuesday or Wednesday. And if it's Wednesday, then the live streams will be going till autumn. When the clocks start to go back again, I'll start doing them again then. That's what I did last year. Like, I got rid of them for the summer, and then came back to them when the dark nights started coming in. But I was actually thinking of doing Tuesdays instead, and just going after work to the local brickworks, which is where I'm going to do my filming for my videos. So once, you know, we get to like 8:30, 9 o'clock for light nights, I'll go twice a week. 4 hour session in the evening after work on Tuesday, and then a longer 6 or 7 hour session on Saturday, and that'll be it, mate. That's pretty much how my fishing's gone for the last 15 years or so. Get there first light, that's early enough. Yeah, it is. Yes, Dr. Frankenstein, you can make a boilie that floats. It all depends on the ingredients you put in it. All you do really is, if you want it to float, just mix. There's a what they call a pop-up mix, Polaris pop-up mix from Mainline. Comes in a tub. If you want your baits to float, mix some of that in with it, because basically it's a buoyant mix. It'll pop your baits up, because it's used for making pop-ups. Polaris, it's called, by Mainline. I don't think my voice was ever in sync with my mouth, Rob. Not on this live stream anyway, mate. It's not for me. I mean, I'm looking at the screen, like, and it sounds like Chinese. Like Chinese. It's off. The audio's not coming from the same place as the video, so the video capture off this camera, which is me camcorder, is being piped through through a video card, but the audio is coming from this and not from the camera, so the difference, and that's why it's not in sync. Try and ignore it if you can, mate. It has a meaty smell, right? Okay, Stu, yeah, that'll be the beef, because there's something about beef protein in there. Pea protein, beef protein. Yeah, that'll be where the meaty smell comes from. It's clearly a good bait. Bird food or fish meal, either. I'm quite happy with either. I know one thing, like for catching big fish, you can't beat a robin red fish meal. It just seems to pull the big fish, doesn't it? Always has done. You'd enjoyed your session even without a carp. Yeah, well, sometimes it's just being out there, isn't it? Look out when the streams restart in the autumn. I might keep them going, James. Yes, I don't know. If I fish on Tuesdays, I'll still be here on Wednesdays. It's only if I fish on Wednesdays. I did last year. It was Wednesday was my night because I was busy on the other nights and I couldn't. I couldn't do Tuesday or Thursday, but I can this year, I think. That's working from home for you. S7 not red anymore. Oh, okay. Mine is, but mine's last year's. But yeah, red fish meal is always a good bait. No issues, really. Okay, mine's always been out of sync. I don't know why. I'm not complaining. Like, if you think it's in sync, that's great. What's this red fish meal? Fish meal boilie got with an ingredient in it called robin red. It's a bird food made by Hafes. If you go on the Hafes have got a website, HAITHS. If you just type Hafes Robin Red into Google, it'll come up for you, mate, and you can go and have a look at their website. It's a red bird food. It's got like spices in it and stuff like that, and it's so red that when the fish eat it, the bellies turn pink. It's meant for dyeing the feathers of birds, but there's something in it. Caraphil, it's called Caraphil Red. Something in the robin red that the fish go absolutely nuts for. And robin red fish meals, they've been around now for nearly 30 years, but they consistently catch bloody big fish. So red fish meal, that's why we call them red fish meals. It's a fish meal base mix with robin red in it. And most companies do some kind of red fish meal. I've used them myself, red fish meals in the past, like, they do quite well. You get a good discount. I think Andy did. Andy got a decent discount because Andy Clark's uses DNA as well. No, James, not fished the Shropshire Union around Ellesmere Port, not recently anyway. What do you think of it? Started lure fishing it since February, but no perch yet. Nearly got a jack, but it got away. Yeah, I'm not a fan of it, James, the Shropshire around Ellesmere Port. I've never thought much of it. There's not a lot in there, to be honest. I think you're better off going further out. If you've seen some of the videos on my channel, a few of them are filmed at Bunbury locks, Bunbury staircase locks. If you go out that far, some of them are at Tattenhall, but again, Tattenhall's not great either. Like, the whole canal's quite hard, but I tend to go away from areas that are built up for the simple reason is they've fished more. You know, it's local for people, like, so they can drop on and do sessions. And if it gets hammered with lures, then not many fish will get caught. Whereas out in the sticks, if not many people go there, they're less pressured. They can be just as hard to find sometimes, like, but just get away from the pressure, mate. So anywhere down by Ellesmere Port, I generally tend to swerve it. I just drive straight past it and carry on going. And I go out towards Bunbury or Barbridge, out that way. Particles are great, Gareth. They've been my first choice bait for years, mate. Particles, I love them. Just so much cheaper than buying boilies. There is an inherent problem with boilies. Everybody else uses them as well. And sometimes, especially on pressured waters, like, you need to do something different. And quite often, like, a particle can get under the guard. That's my take on it anyway. So I use them quite a lot, like, because I'm fishing up against lads who are bivvied up for days on end, and I've only got 6 or 7 hours. So I need every edge you can, like. So I'll do things different. I won't use the same bait as everybody else or follow the crowd or anything like that. I'd get slaughtered if I did. So I'll do anything to be different and give the fish something that they haven't seen before. So I'm a massive fan of particles, me. Plus they're kind on your wallet. You pay the same as everyone. I get a discount. I asked to be an advocate member. £6 a kilo on boilies, 15% on everything else. It's not bad. You buy in bulk, so it brings the price down. That's the thing, isn't it? You just ring them up and say, look, I've got a bulk order. How much? You can guarantee you won't pay full price. They'll always knock money off. You don't need much to be a field tester these days. You just need a big wallet, buy lots of bait, and you're fine. I'm not going to tell you whose I used. 30 kilo at a time. Yeah, see, that's a decent order. That must be worth a few £100 to them, I would say. £30 a kilo. How much do they charge for 10 kilos? 70? 60, 70, 80 quid? Something like that. I think if you can buy in bulk, like, you're always going to get a deal. 80k between the three of you. Yeah, so you're going to get it even cheaper again, Will. 80 kilos. That's a decent chunk of bait. Well, England won anyway. I assume it was 2-1. I didn't see them score another. But it's over. Turn it off now. There we go. It's off. Works out at 50 quid on 10k. See, that's not bad, that. You know, some people are paying almost that for 5 kilos. I usually just buy those bags of Scopex, and they're 40 quid. 39.95 for 5 kilos. So Stu's getting 30 quid for 5 kilos, 60 quid for 10. 6 quid a kilo. That's about the going rate. I know a few people who charge 6 quid a kilo for boilies, or you can get them for 6 quid a kilo quite easily, and that is about the going rate for it. But you know, if you can knock it out at that price and still make a decent profit, then they're obviously overcharging, aren't they? That's my take on it anyway. They're just taking the mick. Should be 6 quid a kilo anyway. But yeah, a bulk deal will always get you a better price. The more you buy, the cheaper it is. Absolutely will. And that's what they want, isn't it? They want you buying loads. Mainline, £10 a kilo. Yeah, dream on. Who's going to pay that? Well, some idiots obviously do. But again, if you went to mainline for a bulk deal, then you'd find the prices a lot more favourable, wouldn't you? I don't know how long 80 kilos will last Will, Rob, but I tell you what, it would last me an awful long time. I mean, I got 10 kilos of DNA S7 last year and I still haven't even touched it. I've had a pile of fish on a tub of pop-ups. I don't think I've thrown a single freebie in. In fact, I don't even think I've opened the bags. I've got 2 5-kilo bags of it sitting behind me, and neither is open. I've just been fishing with the pop-ups, but the pop-ups are great. I've had a stack of fish on them. Just buy a tub of pop-ups, fish with them instead. The Nash boilie that broke £10 a kilo. It was a cultured one, wasn't it? Was it Scopex squid cultured or something like that? I don't know. I'm not quite sure what the cultured or curing of bait is. It was all relatively new to me. I didn't pay much attention to it, like, because I rarely use boilies, but I would not pay for it. Yeah, the selling point was you don't need as much. Yeah, that won't last long, Rob. Once they've got everybody using it, they'll start telling you it's a pre-base. Stick with the particles, mate. There's no finer than a tiger nut or a chickpea. They're awesome, both of them. They're the baits I've used the most over the last few years. But I do have some boilies. I've still got some Scopex squid, and I've got this DNA stuff, which both, you know, fair play, like they catch fish. But I'm getting to the stage now where, because we're coming out of winter and I'm going back to harder waters, where I'm not going to be taking boilies with me. I'll be going back to particles again. Which reminds me, I need to take a trip to Larton Livery to buy some bait in. If the fish you're having it, you use 10 kilo in the 72 hour, yeah, easily. Especially on the big G, mate, it won't go far on there. They'll rip that. They could put away 10 kilo in a few minutes on the big G. You bear in mind, like, how many fish are in there, and you get a 200 or 300 strong shoulder carp, a lot of which are over £20, and they come over your base. 10 kilos ain't going to last 5 minutes. Hemp pellets, yeah. I'm due a trip to Larton, Rob. I need to get a bag of bait in. I don't know what to get yet, to be honest. I just haven't decided yet. I'll have to see what there is available. Really, I'd like to get a big sack of tiger nuts, but I've used them before. I've already done a video on them, and I'm thinking, I want to use something really that I can make a video out of. But it's a tricky situation to be in. Like, I'd like to be using something new, but ideally just like a bag of tigers. They would do. Yeah, they'll destroy a better base. Absolutely. I've seen them do that. I watched my mate once spot for like 2 hours, and they stayed out of range, but they came in range and over his bait, just as it was getting dark, Stu, and he caught 3 fish in quick succession, and that was it. They cleaned him out and there was no bait left and he'd gone. But he had 3 fish in literally in 20 minutes, half an hour, and then they were off and there was no bait left. Yeah, depends where you're fishing and whether the fish are actually feeding hard. No, Rob, they haven't got an online shop. I thought they might have by now, but they haven't. They've just got a little thing, you know. The online presence is basically a web page with their address and phone number on, and that's it. They've got no online shop or online facilities at all, which is a bit disappointing, really. But to be honest, they're so close. I mean, I could go on the way home from the Brickies, or on the way to the Brickies or something like that. Just pop in. It's a, you know, 10 minutes out the way, if that. So it's not too bad. And they have got a pile of stuff in there, mate. They've got so many different types of seed, nuts, pellets, boilies. They've got the lot. Essential Cell, yeah. Yeah, it's on a run of water. Yeah, 22 carp. I'm lucky if I see that in a year. These days. St. John's. I've had some years when I've caught a lot more carp than 22, and others when I've barely managed 10. And it all depends on where you're fishing and how hard the water is. But I tend to drift in and out of places, like I don't tend to stick with them. So I'll do a few weeks here and a few weeks there, and basically just try and nick a fish. Staying mobile and nimble and move from place to place. Try and deal with what the situation that's in front of you on the day. Can you get on them? If you can't, go to another lake. That's the attitude I've got at the moment. I'll go to the water, and if I can't get on the fish, can't find them, can't get on them, I won't just sit there. I'll go somewhere else. Yeah, I saw a post on Facebook that linear, there was 0 spaces on linear, absolutely none, the other day. Was it the day we reopened or the day afterwards? There was no spaces on any of the lakes at all. What a circus that place must be. Literally. Oh my God. Bear in mind how big those lakes are and how many swims on there. That's just mega. That's why I don't go there anymore. The last time I went to linear was 2002. And the reason I remember that year is because it was the year I had a 30. Caught one of the 30s out of Hardwick. It was my very first 30, that's how I remember it. And it was also the last time I went, because it was so busy. It's a shame that. And it hasn't half come on the place, hasn't it? Worst nightmare. Yeah, it's no good, Rob. I used to, in the early days, it wasn't so bad. Like, I used to time my sessions to go on Sunday. So you'd turn up on Sunday night when all the weekenders were getting off, and you'd have your choice of anywhere on the lake. I can remember being on St. John's on my own on Sunday afternoon. What chance have you got of doing that nowadays? You've got none at all. It's horrendous. And yeah, I wouldn't mind, but they only had the 3 lakes then. It was St. John's, Hardwick and Manor Farm. They were the only 3 lakes on the complex. There was no Braes Nose or 1 or 2 or anything like that. It was just no Hunt's Corner, just those 3 lakes, and you could have one of them to yourself on Sunday afternoon, and you're never going to get that nowadays. Yeah, nearly every swim gone. Turning people away, absolutely. Just goes to show you though, you know, how popular the places are now. The fish haven't half come on. There was certainly no 40s in there when I fished there, and 30 was still a big fish. Look what they all hold now. And what a difference 20 years can make. Anyway, chaps, my battery's running out. It's 5 to 10, and it's just starting to go yellow, flashing yellow there in front of me. So I think I'm going to have to call it a night. Hunt's Corner for me. Once you finally get a peg, you have a lot of water to yourself. Yeah, fished Hunt's Corner once. I had a 20 out of it, years ago. It was obviously before 2002. They'd literally just opened it, and yeah, I only went there once. I caught 3 fish, 2 big 19s and a 24, I think. So decent sized fish in there anyway for the time, but they're a lot bigger now, aren't they, than they were then. Deer stalking at 5 AM. Excellent. Nice one, Rob. Cheers, mate. Thanks for being here, and I'll speak to you soon. You panic seeing 5 people on the ballasted water I'm going to. Hoping they turn up, see the weed and bugger off. I'm sure they will, Rob. There's find the fish, mate. That's all I'll say to you. Make sure you find them, and you should be alright. What am I doing? There you go. I'm going to give it some logo. No, it's not much of an achievement nowadays, Stu. It was when I caught mine, because there was only a handful of 30s in Hardwick. Obviously there's a lot more now in all of the lakes, like, and it's not such a big deal anymore, is it? It is what it is. If you want your first 30, it's an obvious place to go for, because there's so many of them. If you want to catch a 30, fish your waters are stuffed full of them, and you'll do well. Yeah, cheers, Ian, Mr. T, James, Gareth, Stu, Will. Not exactly tably mouse. Yeah. Cheers, Rob. Enjoy yourself this weekend if you're booked on, mate. I might be over the road. I'm not going to say any more than that. Most of you know where I might be heading for. Gizmo, cheers, mate. Smash the like buttons. Cheers, lads. I wish you would. Danny, if he's still there, I'll do the name checks. Mr. T, Rob, Stu, Gizmo, James, Gareth, Rob 1 and Rob 2. Danny was here before. Johnny Tosh was here before. Nice one, John. Thanks for popping in. Ian McHale. Dr. Frankenstein. Thanks, mate, for being here. Who else is there? Luke was in earlier on. Cheers, Luke. I haven't got your name yet, but I remember. I think Aid was here earlier on as well. Cheers, Aid. Although he didn't speak very much. Just going back through who else there is. Oh, Anthony. Cheers, Ant. Danny, we've mentioned. Gary B. As always, mate. Nice one. Always here at the beginning. Fishing UK Glasgow. Cheers. They were all at the very beginning. Yeah, cheers, lads. I'll just scroll down and see what else everyone said. Next weekend, the 10th. Yeah. hang up a video on the bank tackle stuff. Nice one, Will. Yeah, I'll have a look at that, mate, see what you think of the bank tackle. Stuff I had was quite cheap, and it seems alright, but you know, it's only rig foam. Right, cheers guys, I'll speak to you next week, Wednesday. Take it easy. I'm ending the stream now. Tight lines, and I hope you all have a good Easter weekend.